This is a touch table that we built. It can detect any number of touches, and it works by total internal reflection. So it's basically a vision-based system. There's a camera underneath the table that's looking up at the display surface, and it's looking in the infrared part of the spectrum. Around the edge of the frame are 84 infrared LEDs that are filling the interior of the display surface, this piece of acrylic, with infrared light. By total internal reflection, very little of the light is getting backscattered to the camera until you touch. And when you touch, that breaks the total internal reflection. You get a bright infrared spot that heads back to the camera. So if we change this little touch detector here, what we're seeing in the window of the touch detector is just the raw image right out of the camera. So you can see that the touches of my fingers appear in the camera image as little fuzzy blobs. And then with a little bit of simple image processing, that gets turned into touch descriptions. Here they're numbered and tracked. And then those touch descriptions are made available on a socket for any application.
So this is a sequencer app where the time is flowing. You can kind of see the playhead move. There's 16 bars, and each of the rows here represents a different instrument. So there's a bass and a snare and a cymbal, and it goes on like that. And you can create a pattern by just putting your fingers down for where you want the beats to appear. And if you're dexterous enough, you can add more to your beat. And then you could get someone else to come and join to make a more complex pattern.
So this is another app that we built, and we actually borrowed this whole physics simulation from some open source thing we found on the web, and wired it up to the multi-touch surface. So you can drag something around with your finger, and you can drag more than one thing around, and you can grab something in two places to rotate it around. And because it's all live, and because it feels somewhat intuitive to move physical objects around, you can try to kind of balance things on here, and it's just kind of fun to play with. Sounds of feedbacks. So there you go. So this is a physics simulation that's hooked up to the multi-touch table, and we just put a few very simple objects on here so that we can play Pong with 3 people. So I can grab something and it kind of pulls it around with a string, so if I grab it with 2 fingers, then I can actually orient it, and I can bounce the ball. And just can join in.
We plan to add some scoring.
Yeah, there's no scoring